Hi, it's me. I am back to talk a little bit about finances again. I know in my last video I told you about Money Saving Mom's budget book and you need a budget financial software. Those things still great. But to go along with those, I thought I would give you a quick overview of sorts of how I try to manage my family's finances. It takes more than just a good software program or a good book. You have to kind of have a system for how you're going to handle your bills, how you're going to pay them, when you're going to pay them. I personally pay my bills through my bank's free online bill pay service. We bank through a bank that has a little box on their website. You click pay your bills. You can set up all your accounts in there. I know a lot of banks have that anymore. Most of the bigger ones do. So if you bank with a bigger bank, and we even bank with kind of a smaller credit union, and they all have them now too. I know the credit unions in our town, there's several, and I believe because we recently switched banks, we looked into all of them, and the majority of them do have online bill pay, and it's free for most banks. I would say anymore, things like checking accounts and online bill pay is free. You will come across banks where it's not, but that's kind of uncommon. Okay, so for my family, I had to come up with a way to be able to see my bills, know what's due when, and then I wanted to know when I paid it, how much I paid, and if I had any little comments or anything, I wanted to be able to do that. So I have a binder. I like to use binders for things. I do not have a binder system per se that's like a grouping of binders that I use for stuff. I have binders that I use for different stuff, but they're in my house in the places that I use them. So I had a TV just turn on in my house. It was paused, that's why, no ghosts. So I keep this binder. It's just a green binder. I picked green for money. And I keep it where I pay my bills. On the inside, I will not let you see all the account numbers, but for sure we'll let you see kind of what we have going on. There, I think that kind of covers it. All right. The inside is sort of, it's just a standard binder. I have a small list right here of bills that come out automatically. We've set up auto pay with a lot of different companies, or something you buy and it has payments that you can make instead of paying one lump sum. If I have any automatic payments, I've just listed them on this little note card just so I have it to reference. Then of course you can see my bills. I stick right here in this pocket, and so they're there. This little spreadsheet, let me see if I have a blank one. I have May's that I've just now started, but I will find a blank one and pull it out for you so that you can see what I'm talking about. I made these. I actually made these on my computer. As you can see, this is December 2012. I pulled it out of the back. It's just a lines like template. It says date due, the bill or creditor name, the amount, date paid, the method I used to pay it, and then a comment or notes, because I sometimes have little notes I put on there. When it's the month before, I'll 3-hole punch this and stick it in. So I keep that. I have them all printed for the year. I just don't have them all up front yet because I just didn't want to have a bunch of them. When a month is over, however, I will hold on. Trying to go to, I have these month tabs. Can you see them? Just month tabs. I have those in the back, towards the back of my binder, and when I am done with my monthly sheet, I move it to its month tab. When I pay my bills, I just started doing this, and I saw some people on YouTube that had done this, and I was kind of like, that's weird, but I tried it and it actually works out nice, and I like it. I had always used, up until just a couple months ago when I started this system, something like this, a little accordion file. I always used one of these for my paid bills. They were marked by the month, and when I'd pay a bill, I'd fold it up and stick it in here. The only problem was it would get really full, and it was hard to try to find a bill and read it and see it. This one stretches really, really far. I do use one of these still for receipts. I've always been a receipt keeper, and there's been a few times that I've decided I'm not going to keep these receipts. I know I've recorded them, I'm not going to mess with them. And every single time I've done that, I've needed a receipt for something, and I've not had it. And so I've just decided I keep this always, and I keep my receipts in it, and once I file them, I have this handy stamp. I'm just showing you everything. It's backwards also. It's a little paid stamp. I actually designed this stamp. I know there's lots of paid stamps you can get, but this one is my own personal design, and I had my stamps created at Vistaprint. And this is actually like my third one of these because I use them and then they last a really long time, but I designed that actual stamp a long time ago, so I've been using it. So when I get a receipt entered into my ledger, I stamp it, and that way if I come across one that isn't stamped, I know I didn't enter it. Do the same in my checkbook too. I go through and enter my checks off the carbon. I stamp the carbons with this, and then from week to week I know which ones I've already entered in my register. I don't even have to look at the register. I just know the ones that have been stamped have already been entered. So the same with receipts. And the same with bills. Once they're paid, they also get stamped. And then I write the amount and stuff on the stamp. So my ledger, or my little, these down here that I highlight in pink, those are past due. That's right, I have past due bills sometimes. So I put them, I carry them forward onto the next month's ledger, and I highlight them in pink because they are needing attention, so they need to be bright, and then they get paid when they stick out. But occasionally, yeah, everybody gets a late bill once in a while, or a past due bill for whatever reason. I'm not going to share with you our reasons, but it happens. It's part of life. So that's how I handle that. I highlight them in hot pink so that I know. So then once this is April's, I will take this and I'll flip it over to April, and I'll put it in along with my bills, which I think was what I started to tell you, and I'm such a darn scatterbrain. My bills, once I pay them, I 3-hole punch them and stick them in the month tab, or put them behind their month tab. That actually has worked out so nice because I can flip right through my binder. You can just grab it and flip right through to the bill that you paid, and you don't have to worry about it being all folded up or hard to find. It's very easy to get to. Purchases that I made, I print out the little invoice off the computer and put that right in there. So it really is pretty handy to do it this way. And then the YNAB software runs these really awesome reports for you. Maybe some people don't think they're really awesome, but I sure do. And then at the end of the year, I run off year-end reports so we can see what we spent, what our budget was, what we spent, and how much we had left. And it breaks it down by category. It really is nice to have this information. That's just kind of like, you can see, I highlight the end balances. So that's always at the back, so we can see what we did. I usually run off a preliminary budget page for the beginning of each month, or I did. I haven't done it in a while. I like to work with my husband on the finances. I want for him to know what's going on, and we've been having some trouble getting together with that. So, but normally I like to print off a preliminary budget. These are all of our different budget categories, and we go through and we decide together, or we're supposed to decide together, how much we want to spend on those and what our target is. So that's something to work on. But this is kind of just how I do our budget system. It's a binder. I also keep this little thing, my bill box, and it's just got all the stuff in it that I use to pay bills. My stamps, my highlighters, a calculator, a little stapler, my little thing here. I keep this next to this. So that pretty much is my system. If you have any questions about this particular system, please feel free to ask. I'll help answer it, and if there's something that I can do to help you out, I'd be more than happy to. Have a good day. Bye.